Hi, how you doing? My name is Brandon Taylor. I'll be the coach for the 9U Blue Club All-Star team for the 2023 and 2024 season. I wanted to take a minute to make a video because sometimes it's a little bit easier to get everybody on the same page by just making a video and make sure that everything is housed and referenced in one spot so that everybody can be on the same page with what's happening for the season. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Stockton, California. I played baseball at Delta College. I grew up, or Delta Little League. I grew up in the Club All Star system. I played baseball and football at Bear Creek High School. I played at Delta College and went on to the 4-year level. I've worked as a collegiate strength and conditioning coach. I've also worked as a professional strength conditioning coach and performance coach. I currently work for Stockton Unified School District with students with moderate to severe disabilities, mostly on the severe end of things, as well as I am the director of performance at Club All Star. So I coach baseball at Delta College as well as varsity baseball at Lincoln High School. I'm married to Corey. Some of you have met. She's our team mom, and we have 4 children. So the season, let's talk about what the season is. The club season is August 2023 to 2024. Understand that this is a long-term development program. The goal is to build high-quality players. Generally, when we turn out players, they go pretty far. So the kids that are in our program for a long time generally reap the highest rewards. We will be playing through the spring season and will not be playing in the Little League season. So you may choose to play Little League or continue in the Club All Star program, but you cannot do both. It's detrimental to the kids, both in their sanity of having to practice that much and play that many games, but more specifically physically, it's just too much. So having to play in both is a little bit too much. It's also a different game. The game that we'll be playing will be a lot different than Little League baseball. We will be playing at 65 feet. We will be taking leads. Brings in a lot more components of real baseball. So really, in our opinion, playing Little League is just stepping backwards. It's not really progressing our kids in a development program. So we have a full lineup of spring tournaments and possibly joining the Arizona trip with the older teams. So we will move to small group indoor work over the winter months and generally shut down through the holiday season for obvious reasons. So this is a developmental program, and I can't stress that enough. I know we hear a lot of people say travel ball and travel ball and travel ball. Most travel ball teams do not have even close to the facilities or access to the level of coaching that we have at Club All Star. So we do not consider our program a travel ball team. Our goal is not to strictly just win trophies. Our goal is to develop our kids long term so that we create baseball players that develop in all areas. So we do not consider ourselves a travel ball team. We are a developmental program. So tournaments, due to the demand in our program, we are going to carry 14 players this year. That's a lot. Generally, we carry 12, but we just had so many players try out, quality players try out, that it was difficult to be able to make a selection down to just 12. So we ended up keeping 14 players. That being said, we're going to play in 6 tournaments, and we'll have a rotating group. Every player is guaranteed to play in 5 tournaments. So there will be 1 tournament that you will be sitting out. Vegas is an optional tournament. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the decision on which tournament your child plays in is not my decision, and that's by design. I did not want to be a part of that. I didn't want anybody to claim that I had any type of bias in any way. So those will be determined on a random basis. So that once that has been determined, I'll make sure that information is passed out to you ASAP. That'll probably be getting done in the next week. There's no switching tournament weekends unless authorized by Club All Star. So at Club All Star, we strive to deliver quality in all that we do, and we absolutely expect that same behavior from the parents. Harassing of any coach or official will never be tolerated. That is not what we stand for. JD's worked very hard over 20 years to build the name of this company, and we will not be the team that tarnishes that in any way. That will not be tolerated, and it will not be accepted. The umpires are tightening up on this, and out of control behavior will cost our team. So if I get ejected from a game due to a parent's behavior, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have to discuss that and maybe take an alternate route with your status in Club All Star. So leave the coaching to the coaches. No coaching from the stands will not be tolerated. No coaching from behind the dugout. This will not be tolerated. No coaching as your child comes up to bat. Okay. There's a lot of things going through their mind, and the game's not getting any easier as they get older. The last thing they need is more swing decisions and swing thoughts to dome them up. Let the players play. If you need to address something with your player, if it's that important that you need to address with your player, I will remove them from the game, and you can address it with them as you wish, but they will not be re-entering the game. They can go with you, and you can coach them on what you need to coach them on. Understand that the dugout is our safe place. No parents will be allowed in the dugout unless I specifically ask for your help or I allow it. That is our safe place. The dugout is a place for the kids. It is their safe place to interact with the teammates and coaches, and often where the best memories are made. Stay out of the dugout, no exceptions. Mandatory, this is mandatory in our program. Parents have a 24-hour cool-off period after each tournament. After this time, parents may email the coach to discuss tournament-related issues. After reading the email, the coach will contact the parent. This is only an acceptable way to handle an issue. Please do not send an email on Sunday night. I'm not going to return it. Okay, and above all, take a seat, relax, be a parent. These moments fly by, so just take the time to sit back and enjoy all of the hard work that your sons have put in. That's their time to shine, okay? Coaches coach and players play, and parents, your job is to just cheer them on from the sidelines. Back to that 24-hour rule, it's really important that you guys adhere to this. Okay, do not email me. I will not respond to it. I need 24 hours myself to be able to make sure that my response is articulated correctly, and any of the data that I need to prove as to why I made the decision will be presented clearly, and there will be no question as to the decision that I made. All 9U practices will be 5 to 7 on Mondays, and Fridays 5 to 7 unless noted, and otherwise noted, and I'll communicate that to you. Please wear white baseball pants, blue belt, blue socks, and a Club All-Star hat unless otherwise noted, which will be very rare as this is the standard in our program. Life happens. If you would be late, please communicate with me so that I can adjust. In order to provide the highest level of instruction that I can provide in the 9U space, organization is absolutely critical. I use small groups to aid in behavior management, to drive intent, keep our players on task. So please communicate with me if you will not be attending practice or if you will be late so that I can adjust. If you miss practice during the week, your player will not be in the starting lineup for the first 3 innings of the following game. I'll talk about how we make our lineups here in a little bit. It doesn't mean that they won't hit, but defensively, they won't get in the game until the third inning, at least in the first game. So parents are not allowed in the batting cages, bullpen, or weight room during practices. This is for your safety as well as our athletes. And above all, really, it gives coaches and players the space to coach and be coached. They need their space. They need to be able to not look over their shoulder at what you may or may not have to say. So just please let your kids put in the work and enjoy the process. Let the coaches coach and the players be coached. Games, when we have games, please arrive an hour early before game time unless otherwise noted. If for some reason you're going to be late, please communicate with me via the app. If you arrive later than 30 minutes before game time, your player will have to sit out the first 3 innings in the lineup, as we stated earlier. Players will train 3 positions. We will try to get our players to learn every single position outside of catcher. Catcher is one of those positions that takes a special kid, takes a lot of extra work. Catchers generally are ones that are putting in the extra work because they require that. It's a specialty position. Okay, but I will do my best to teach your sons at every position. Okay, this is not, however, guaranteed playing time at any spot. Just because they're working at a certain spot does not mean that positional playing time is guaranteed. It is absolutely earned. Playing time is never guaranteed, and this goes at any level. Okay, we will do our best to give all players the opportunity to earn their time on the field. Pool play games will be as equally distributed as possible, but playoff and must-win games will be determined on what the best lineup that we need to put out for the day is to be able to complete the task. So I will do my best. I try to use a continuous batting order when I can. That allows all players to hit and expose players to as many positions as realistically possible. Must-win games will be determined by coach's discretion. If you have playing time concerns, you have to adhere to the 24-hour rule, and I will address your concerns. I will not tolerate anything other than that. Vegas. Vegas is probably one of our most fun trips of the year. We stay at the New York, which has the arcade that's about the size of Club All-Star as a whole. Okay, it's one of the most fun tournaments. All of the levels of our teams go to this tournament, and we now have, as a 9U team, we have the opportunity to go to this tournament. It's a great tournament, tons of memories. It's late in the fall, the weather's really nice. Okay, we currently have 9 players committed for the Vegas tournament, and we're looking for one more at least. We're open to taking everybody, but we're looking for a 10th player. We'll still go with 9, but 10 would make it a little bit easier. Okay, the Vegas hotel information, like I said, we have a smoking deal right now. It's the best deal you'll find unless you want to stay at an absolute dump. New York for our tournament. Okay, that's on October 27th through the 29th. We advise getting in the evening of Thursday, October 26th. We may play as early as 8 a.m. on Friday, 10/27. Okay, if you're flying out, fly out at 6 p.m. or later on Sunday, in case we have a late game on October 29th. All teams, 11U to 14U are attending. It's 9U, we have the option to go as well. We're just waiting to see if there's one other player that wants to go before we lock it in permanently. Okay, so we'll send out info about 9U potentially playing as we get closer. But this is kind of your notice that we've got 9 players and we're looking for one more. Tons of fun. Players. The player expectations of the players is really basic. As a player, I will show up ready to learn, work as a team, listen and follow directions each day, arrive early to practices and games. Okay, these are all the things that are in the contract. Give 100%, take responsibility, communicate, practice on my own. This is another thing. You cannot expect to be able to be your best if you're only practicing during the week. If you're only practicing on our Monday and Friday games, you'll make progress, absolutely, but you need to do some things at home. You can always do push-ups and squats. You can always do sprints. You can always swing a bat. You can always work on dry run ground balls. There's no excuse to not put in the work outside of here if this is what you really want. I don't expect to have any behavioral issues with our kids. We have a great group of kids. They all work hard. They all have fun. Okay, I don't expect any of that. Okay, for the time being, I'm personally still trying to learn the 5-Star app. I'm still trying to learn that app. But I do know how to use the GroupMe app, and I do feel it's very important for you to receive information in a timely manner. So I will be using that for the time being until we are able to onboard the 5-Star app and start using that more exclusively. For the time being, all communication will be through the GroupMe app. Okay, please do not text me. Okay, I keep it on the app for a reason. I have a life and I'd like to keep it separate. So we're going to communicate through the app. Okay, I will post weekly practice and game notifications in the app. Simply select yes or no if you will be attending the practice game or event. I do not need any information if you cannot make it, you have the sniffles, etc. I do not need any information. Just will you or will you not be there so that I can plan appropriately for practice to make sure that we have the best practice possible, the best organization possible. All Google documents will be shared via the app as well. I've already shared some Google calendars as well as some other documents through Google. So it allows us a platform to be able to do that. So as a coach, I promise to do my absolute best to help your son be the best version of himself on and off the field. I will use all of my expertise and passion for the sport of baseball to instill a love for the game in your sons. I'll work hard to do the things the right way. Some may play baseball in high school, some in college, some maybe even past that. But there's one thing that I know of the thousands of kids I've worked with in 20 years in this field is that they will all become successful citizens, husbands, and fathers because we work on the little things, because we work on building our kids up the right way. We take care of the little things so that they become great citizens. That's the goal. And along the way, they learn to love the game of baseball. I've done my job. You're all in a very unique situation that I have 20 years of experience that I get to pour into this because my son is part of the program. So you will absolutely get the best that I've got every single day. I will pour it all on the line for him because what's good for my son is good for your sons. So you're going to get the best of me every day. I'll give it all I got. I'll do my best. That's all I've got. I'm really excited for this season. I'm really excited for this group of parents as well as this group of athletes. We have a really, really cohesive group. If you have any concerns going on, okay, go ahead and contact me on the side. I will hold a pretty hard line with our families. I value all of you and I appreciate all of you, but if there's any type of behavior that becomes detrimental to our program in any way, we will have a much more serious conversation, and we will address it immediately. I won't wait around. It'll get dealt with immediately. I'm here to coach. I'm here to do the best job I can. Your job is to be the parent, support everybody involved so that your child has the best experience. But any type of behind-the-scenes behavior that is negative or trying to in any way undermine what we're doing at Club All-Star and what we stand for will not be tolerated. That's all I've got. Hopefully I covered everything. I'm a big fan of trying to communicate as much as possible, so I will communicate within the app and answer any questions that I can along the way. Hopefully that hit all the bases, and here we go. Let's have a great season.